Hello, good afternoon. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Patricia Uribe, and I'm the director of the Staggs Academy of International and STEM Studies and the superintendent of TAMU ISD.
Have you ever encountered discrimination in the education or administrative world for being a person of Hispanic culture? If so, did one react in a position where you were in front and center of?
I guess going to school in my younger years, back in the 80s, going to college, I did feel somewhat discriminated in that area, but not by the professors so much as by my fellow students. I did feel a little out of place sometimes, um, and I know I felt less than. We used to kind of just get together as Hispanics, and there was a group called MAS, which was Mexican American students, and we kind of supported each other because we felt, first of all, our education was not as strong as the kids coming from Dallas or Houston in some areas. As an administrator for the different school districts, I've worked with both school districts here locally, and then, of course, TAMU. Laredo is 99% Hispanic, so I didn't feel discriminated as far as being a Hispanic female. I am, in this case, maybe you might say a triple minority because I'm single, Hispanic, and female. Where I did feel discrimination was being female. I did work for one school district that was, it was a good old boy system. You know, the men got the higher salaries. They would sometimes laugh at women and look at us as if we were weaker. And the way we used to take care of that is to work twice as hard sometimes. You go out there and get more degrees. I can tell you that I probably have more degrees than some of the men that were my bosses, and it still didn't carry any weight. The proof is in the pudding as to what you do for your work and how hard you work. I had to prove myself doubly as hard, but as I start to see the sunset years of my life and retirement out there, I look back and think that every position or job or encounter that I had was, a stepping stone or a learning experience to better myself.
What has been your greatest challenge in the administrative world? What advice would you give to Hispanic women or marginalized groups?
The probably biggest challenge has been promotion and being evaluated on your worth and not who you are or who you're connected with or who you're politically aligned with. I did have a really big challenge that one time that they came into one of the school districts that I work for, and they made us all apply for our jobs. I ended up losing an executive director's position for somebody that was in the inner circle, so it's kind of politics, and it was a male. I was moved out and then told something like, you've got 1 year that you will remain at your same salary, and then a year from now you're going to drop about $20,000. Being a single mother, yeah, that can derail you. I did what I needed to do, started working just as hard, didn't give up, again, as difficult as it was, I just kind of forged forward, and the people who did know me and TAMU came through for me, and they offered me this position, and actually it was a position working with the early college high school, and so I ended up leaving the school district, and I worked so hard to get there, and just knowing that I was not an education major. I started off as a political science with a concentration in legal studies. I was going to go to law school, but I had to pay off my student loans because I started working for TAMU back then, which was actually Laredo State University. And once you do that, well, then you buy a car. You say, and so I never did go back to law school, but I've proven myself, and I ended up okay here at TAMU.
Who or what was your biggest inspiration through your education?
That my biggest mentor was my dad, and everything that I did, I kind of owe to him. He was always very, very hardworking, and wanted to make him proud. But my inspiration comes from you all. I will tell you that when I took this position, I thought, okay, because I was thinking maybe starting to retire. I'm going to set up the school and get you off and started for 3 years, and then after the 3rd year, I'm going to retire. We're starting in year 7, guys, because I look forward to getting up to come to work, watching you all succeed. So again, my biggest inspiration comes from knowing that hopefully I make some kind of an impact on the things that you do in your futures and kind of help you move along, get your 4-year degree and continue thereafter.